Hey, you guys. Okay, I've been having some technical difficulties, but I have been wanting to record this training for everyone because I get asked this question an awful lot, and I know this will be really helpful to every single one of you, no matter where you are in your business, and especially those of you who are doing the ABC Ask with me. It's really important as we are asking people to take a look at what we do from a business perspective that you feel comfortable and confident in how to have a one-with-one conversation with someone. So whether that ends up being over FaceTime, whether it's in person at a coffee shop, I mean, it can look a lot of different ways. It can be just over the phone, but it's a scheduled time where this person knows that you guys are going to discuss more in depth about Arbonne and what makes this business so special. So I absolutely love one-with-ones. It is my favorite thing to do in Arbonne. I really built the foundation of my business has always been one-with-ones. From the very beginning, that was my go-to. It was my strong suit. I loved how I could work it into my day, and it was just really, it's always been very fluid for me. So I want to talk to you about how to have a really effective one-with-one, because I do believe in my heart that there are certain things that you want to have as far as your mindset, and you want to have clear in order for you to get the best results. Okay. The biggest reason why someone can meet with one person and they say they're not interested, and then they can meet with another person about the exact same thing and they sign up. What's the difference there? The difference has to do with that person connecting the dots and sharing their vision and coming from a place of vision and purpose and passion and really caring about the other person. So I think that when we get too caught up in that we have to share certain information, I think you lose the magic that happens when you can meet with someone individually. This is something that is really led by your heart, not by your head. Okay. And I really want you to get that. So there isn't a perfect way of doing anything. Get perfection out of it. And here's the thing. You have to do this multiple times to get better. You just do. So you got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable in the beginning. Okay. And it is okay to laugh at yourself or be like, okay, wait a minute, let me back up. I mean, just be real. Or say, you can pull yourself back and be like, wait a minute, I'm spending too much time on myself. Let's focus on you. Whatever it is. But the most important thing is for you to really speak from the heart and be authentic and genuine with that person and share your vision. Eric Worre at GoPro said something that I thought was extremely profound, and I want to share that with you, is that he said, people don't just join you in network marketing, they join your vision. So even when people think that you're fantastic and awesome and they would love to be around you, if you're not painting a picture for them that they want to be a part of, they're going to say no. And you can have a huge vision, right? And you explain it, you describe it, you show it to them. It still might not be for them. So don't think that if you share vision, you're going to just, everybody's going to say yes. That's not it. But you need to give yourself a fighting chance, right? And it's all about, what are you signing up for? What are you asking them to enroll in with this business called Arbonne? And they're either going to be intrigued or on board, or they're not. And that's fine, because our job, this is a numbers game, right? When you get in front of a bunch of people, it's not as devastating when someone says no, because you have a lot of things in the hopper. It's the whole popcorn kernel analogy, right? Where we have, the more popcorn kernels you have in the pan, the better, the more the momentum, the more your team ends up growing, right? If you only have a couple of popcorn kernels and you're like, oh, please pop, like, that's exhausting, and it's really disappointing, because sometimes both of those kernels don't pop, right? So the ABC Ask, I'm super excited about, because I think it really gets us asking, and it pre-qualifies people before you're even meeting with them. Okay. Which I think is phenomenal because your time's valuable. So there are two things that I use in my one-with-one. First of all, it's the Why Arbonne outline that is on our Facebook team page as well as our website. Okay. And then there is the one-with-one outline. Okay. This one is for your eyes. This one is to give away. And that is why I do have it printed out in color. I would print it out in color. I think it looks better. I think it's more impactful. I think you want to always put your best foot forward. So bite the bullet and print it out in color. Okay. You'll survive. Your business is worth it. And so what I do in a one-with-one is I sit down with someone and I'm like, Sarah, I'm so glad we are having a chance to meet about this. I'm really excited. The reason why I wanted to share this with you a little bit more in depth is I think you're fantastic. I know that you are a teacher. I know that you are passionate about making a difference with those kids and giving your best in your career. And people like you, like the energy about you, the people like you are absolutely what I look for in somebody that I would love to have as a teammate in my Arbonne business. And I know you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, Julianne, this is nice, but it's so not for me. Let me just set the stage right now. I want you to know wherever you land on this is totally great. Like, I love you wherever you're at, but I want to make sure that I'm at least sharing my heart with you and what I'm really up to, because I feel like so many times people think they know what it is that I do in Arbonne. And I feel like they don't really know. There's so much beyond the products. Now, the products are absolutely amazing, and I'll talk about that just a little bit. But I know we've already talked, you've heard some about that in the video or whatever. But what I want to share with you is I'm really on a mission for people to really be able to live their best life. I think that life is too short, and there are too many times where we're just surviving. We're fine. Nothing's super bad or awful. Like, you have a great life, right, Sarah? I mean, I know you really enjoy teaching, but I feel like we're all designed to be able to live life totally abundantly. And so many times we give up on what that maybe could be because we don't know the avenue that would give us that, or we're scared, or we just kind of get bashed down thinking, okay, you know what, maybe this is as good as it gets. And that's where I was like, okay, I've done what people told me to do, and I am happy, and I am successful, but there was something deep down inside that I wanted so much more than that. So first of all, this is also about you. Tell me from your perspective, like, what were some of the things that led you into teaching, or like, what are some of your favorite things about it? Okay. So I kind of set the stage, and I want to make this conversational. It's really important for this to be a conversation. And obviously I can be a chatty Cathy, so I have to really work at it, but I really want to hear from that person. What is it that they love about what they do? What drew them to that? It doesn't matter what career or, being at home and why that was important to them. I can always connect it to Arbonne. I can always connect it to Arbonne. So I want to hear about the positives, right? I think it's cheesy and tacky to be like, what do you not like about your job? I mean, whatever. They know exactly what you're trying to do, right? You're trying to convince them to do this with you. And I say, listen, I do not want to convince you of anything. If this ends up speaking to you like it's ended up speaking to me, I'm going to do backflips. At the same token, I am passionate about people understanding what it is that I do, because I know for a fact that you know people that need to know about this, and they don't know that this is the answer to their prayers, but it is. And just like me, I had no idea. So, anyways, okay, I got a little sidetracked, but I ask about why they got started and what they're doing. And one of the best questions, and this is the first question on here, is I say, what do you think your life looks like 5 years from now? And be quiet. And then, say, how does it, are you excited about that? Is that, where you want to be? okay, cool, you know, whatever. Um, and I move on to then, so let me tell you a little bit about how this all happened for me, Sarah. I was never going to do this, and ever. I mean, I just didn't think it was for me. I didn't want to push products or anything like that. I mean, the thought of sales to friends and family, I'm like, oh my gosh. Um, but as I peeled the onion and learned what Arbonne was really about, it became really apparent that it was exactly what I was looking for. I wanted to be able to have an amazing career where I could positively impact other people and at the same time have it benefit myself and my family and my lifestyle. And as I got into corporate America, I thought, oh my gosh, that doesn't even exist. Like, how can I be a great mom, wife, and run a crazy awesome business? Like, how is that even possible? Well, the thing is that it ended up being possible through something like this. And Arbonne is all about pure living, not perfect living, pure living. Okay. And what I mean by that is living life to its fullest, doing our best, living by our values, being able to put the people and things first that we really want to, instead of looking at that list of shoulds, putting great products in and on our bodies, because this is the only body we have to be able to do the things that we want to do and impact the world in a positive way, whether it's, you know, with a small number of people or an amazing number of people because of the chain reaction, right? And when I signed up for Arbonne, initially, I didn't get that. To me, it was, I understood the philosophy of the products and the pure, safe, beneficial, and I thought that was cool. To me, what I love the most is that I personally love the products. They absolutely have amazing results. And I also thought, you know what? People need to know and not be fooled by all of the marketing gimmicks that are out there and advertising gimmicks, because people are spending an awful lot of money, depending on what they're using, for fancy marketing and fancy packaging. And not necessarily for what's inside, and they don't know what they're putting in and on their bodies. As I started learning about it, I thought, you know what, people do need to know, and they deserve the right to make the choice for them. So one of my favorite things about this, Sarah, is like, I'm happy to sit here and meet with you, but I just want you to know, like, this is totally about an investigation and me just educating you on what Arbonne has to offer. And we'll just kind of, you know, it's the tip of the iceberg right now. But I want you to know, like, wherever you fall is great. So let me ask you this. What kind of questions, you know, do you have for me before I go any further? Is there anything that sticks out in your mind? If you were to think about doing something like this, what would be something that would hold you back? Okay. That's one of my favorite questions, because you just go right for it, right? It's like, let's just talk about the nitty gritty. And most people don't need to know all about our compensation plan and how you get the white Mercedes exactly. I mean, everybody's brain works differently, but a lot of people, what they're concerned about is how am I going to fit this in? What does this really look like? What do you actually do? Okay. But let them guide the information that you cover on the Why Arbonne, because they can take this home. It doesn't matter if you cover everything. This is just a resource and something visual to look at and really to send home with them. So that being said, I let them, you know, and if they're like, I don't really know, you know, I'll say, okay, so let me tell you about some of the big things that I want people to understand. I always go into leverage, because people do not understand what leverage is. And my dog's driving me insane. You guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to let her out, because this is my life, right? This is like my life. So anyway, I okay, so what was I going to say? Okay, so I'll go into some of the big things that I think hinder, you know, like, I want someone to understand leverage. And the other thing that I do try to hit on is like the whole what other people will think, because that's, no matter who you are, that's in your head usually. At least for my peer group, I just feel like it was the biggest thing for me And it's there typically. So I try to effectively talk about that, how it was something that I was concerned about. And I really, try to keep it short. It's usually 30 minutes. Sometimes though, you know what, depending on how you talk with someone, it could end up being an hour. Here's my thing. Whatever you promise them, make sure to abide by that, right? And don't tell someone it's going to be 20 minutes because I don't believe you. I don't think that you're going to effectively do this in 20 minutes. I think you can totally do it in 30, but I think that you will, 20 minutes, you're not going to do it. So, because you're going to want that give and take and conversation, and that's what makes it longer. But that's the important thing, is because we're connecting with people, and you want to serve people where they're at. So I want to serve Sarah and let her know. And then I paint this vision where I'm like, so here, Sarah, here's the thing. This is where I'm going. I see where this company is headed, and I see that it is an absolute diamond mine that many people don't even know about yet. And we're starting to go global. And I am looking for people who have great hearts, who care about others, who want to do something positive in the world, but they don't want to continue to be in the rat race. They want to feel like they're benefiting as well as helping other people benefit. And they're willing to take this by storm. And I'm not messing around. I don't want to, lots of people do this as a hobby, and that's great if that's something, that would speak to you. But I'm really looking for people who want to make a difference. And I'm not interested in someone just being able to supplement their, Arbonne products for the money they make. I'm interested in helping other people really be successful and get the most out of life. So if that's something that, stirs anything inside of you, if it speaks to you at all, then let's investigate this more. And I want you to feel comfortable and confident to be honest with me where you're at, what's going on in your head. I'm going to love you where you're at, but I think you are amazing. And I know that you can knock this out of the park with me. And there are so many people that are waiting for somebody like you, who they respect and they think is fantastic, to take that step first. And then they will follow along. I know it because I've been there and I saw that. And that's, it was the courageousness of Jody, who, was somebody who was so great at her career and super smart. And it didn't quite make sense to me, like, wait, why is she doing this? And then she was like, this is why. And this is absolutely amazing. And it really makes a difference for people, that I paid attention. So I have people say, I say, Sarah, on a scale of 1 to 10, because I want to serve you where you're at. Where are you at? 1 being, I want to really, try some of these products and see if I fall in love with them. Again, 0 pressure, but I love to hook people up with awesome discounts. Or 10, like, Julianne, I am so in, I'm doing this with you. Where do you see yourself? And this isn't from a pressure standpoint. This is for me to know, how to serve you best. So what do you think? Where are you at? Okay. That is basically what I do in a 1-with-1. I hope that helps. I hope this is beneficial. Those are the main components. I'm sure I'm leaving something out, but I don't think so. You guys are phenomenal, and it's not rocket science, but I do want you to think about, what's your vision? What do you see for yourself? Many of you have really worked on your brand, your purpose, your why, within this business, and that needs to be shared, but it needs to be encompassing of others, right? I have a real heart for people who struggle with, I really want both. I want to be available to my family and be an awesome mom and wife, but I also want a big time career where I'm challenged and I'm helping others outside of my family. So that's my huge thing. And I really have a heart for people thinking that they're stuck. So hope this helps. Thanks so much, you guys. Really appreciate it. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.